Welcome to this episode of Dread Captures. In this episode, we'll be showing you some of the most interesting and strange images that have been captured on outdoor and trail cameras. From elusive wild animals to mysterious and unexplained sightings, these cameras have captured it all. Big cats, bears, deer, and even strange unidentified creatures. You never know what you might find when you check your trail camera footage. So sit back and let's take a look at some intriguing trail camera captures. In our first clip, a Mississippi man was left perplexed after spotting what appears to be a massive black cat walking through a field. And even experts can't agree on what he saw. The strange encounter occurred as David Sluter was pulling into a Wendy's in the city of Hernando. David noticed something slinking off in the distance. After initially thinking that he was watching a deer or a coyote because of its size, he then realized that the creature was actually some type of cat. David, who was over 100 yards away from the animal, took out his phone and started filming. As he looked more intently, and from his tail, he could definitely tell it was a cat. I mean, look at that tail, that thing is massive. He swears it wasn't an overgrown house cat like some people have said. And authorities agree with him. An expert with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife quickly dismissed the mystery feline as a house cat, claiming the pointed shape of the creature's ears confirmed that conclusion. However, the city and county animal control weren't excited about the Department of Wildlife claiming that the creature is the much more dangerous mountain lion. Nevertheless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the big cat. This next trail cam capture comes from Brian Sammons. At first glance, he thought he had a deer die right in front of his camera. However, the photo actually shows deer visiting and sleeping in the same spot nearly every night. Sammons says the deer, a young buck, calmly walks up to the spot every few nights and just lies down. It's unusual behavior as deer are known to be skittish, and they avoid sleeping in the same place for multiple consecutive nights. He agrees how interesting it is to see this. He agrees it's really cool to see this, and thinks it may have something to do with this particular location being safe, or the deer just feeling really comfortable. Experts say it could indicate that the area is a migration or feeding location. I'd be interested to know what the experienced outdoorsman thinks about this. Nevertheless, it's always fascinating to see wild animals in their natural habitats. As an add-on to the last photo, this next one is a cool one too. A man placed a camera in a dilapidated pole barn on the back of his property. He noticed a family of deer would come and bed down in there. And as you can see, this one seems to have noticed the camera, while the other one seems to have taken a liking to the protection of the old truck. On another note, let me know in the comments if you can spot the third deer in this picture. I suspect some will find it easily, but some, not so much. This next clip shows a few photos from a trail camera. A man captured a rare and intense standoff between a coyote and a bobcat on his trail cam. The footage shows the two animals facing off, with the coyote appearing to be on the defensive as the bobcat advances. Despite their similarities in size, the bobcat wins the standoff and the coyote eventually retreats. While bobcats and coyotes rarely fight, each knows the other is a formidable foe. This kind of confrontation is not unusual among wild animals, as they are often competing for the same resources, such as food and territory. It's interesting to see the dynamic between the two species, and it's a reminder that not everything has to come to blows. Bobcats and coyotes rarely fight because each knows the other is a formidable foe. And honestly, it's not worth the hassle of getting injured. There's much easier prey out there, and plenty of it. Anyhow, the man who captured this footage is lucky. Seems to have some pretty cool animals on his property. The security camera system of a home in Henderson, Kentucky, recently captured eerie footage of what appears to be an apparition. The homeowners, Pamela and Rick Carter, were so spooked by the footage that they are now considering moving from their home. The strange scene was reportedly captured earlier this month at the Carters' home. According to the couple, the potential spirit had been spotted in the flesh a few days earlier when they saw a strange man walking down the street before disappearing. Pamela said it was the second time the mysterious figure had been spotted, and 2 days later, they checked the security footage and saw the same mysterious individual again, this time seemingly materializing out of thin air at the end of their driveway. Possible apparition is clearly some kind of figure that takes a few steps down the street and then dissipates into thin air. When Pamela went outside to look for the man, she didn't see anyone, leading her to assume that it was some kind of ghost. On a similar note, it wasn't just Pamela who has noticed some spooky things going on in their area. The following day, her neighbor admitted to having a ghost living in her house. The mother of two claims she feels like someone is listening when she is alone in the house, and has even felt someone throwing something at her. What do you guys think about this? Is this just a man walking and a glitch in the camera? Or is this an actual apparition? Often known as the vampire deer, this little guy was picked up from a field camera. This is the Chinese water deer, a small herbivorous mammal native to China and Korea. These smaller deer typically weigh between 33 to 65 pounds and stand around 2 to 3 feet tall at the shoulder. Obviously, they are known for their large tusk-like teeth, which both males and females have. These vampire deer live in wetlands and grasslands near water sources such as rivers and lakes. They're most active during the early morning and late afternoon, and are known to be solitary creatures outside of the breeding season. They are also a protected species in China and Korea, and hunting them is illegal. Beside the fact that it looks menacing, it is unclear as to why evolution chose fangs over antlers for this deer. One expert suggests that all deer had both fangs and antlers at one point, and over time the larger deer kept the headgear, and the smaller deer did away with them in favor of the teeth. Nonetheless, an awesome specimen. A trail camera set up in the woods of Colorado captured a mysterious unicorn-like creature wandering through the forest. The animal, with a single horn protruding from its forehead, has caused a great deal of speculation and excitement among local residents, and even some wildlife experts. As we've all been taught, the existence of unicorns are purely fictional. They're mythical creatures, and it's impossible for a real animal to have a single horn protruding from its forehead. Well, this seems like a real animal, and that's really a horn. In all honesty, it looks like a perfectly healthy elk with some type of mutation that makes the horn grow from its head. Some people are claiming that this is photographic trickery, and that an animal like that doesn't exist. I'd beg to differ, and I think it's a really cool camera capture. Let me know what you guys think about this. Has anyone seen anything like this? Speaking of antlers in the wrong places, a deer caught on a trail camera has been captured with an antler stuck in its neck. The footage shows the deer moving around with the antler protruding from its neck, seemingly unbothered by it. This type of phenomenon is called cross-browsing, where bucks during rut engage in intense fights and one of them can get their antler stuck in another's flesh. While it may look painful, these types of injuries are usually not life-threatening, and the deer will typically be able to remove the antler on its own. But of course, in some cases, the protrusion may cause significant damage to the animal, to its vision, mobility, making it more vulnerable to predators or disease. It's always amazing to see the way these animals have the capability to adapt and heal. This video captured around midnight shows farm goats in Brazil corralled into a pen and relaxing during the cooler evening. However, suddenly, they catch wind of something and realize they aren't alone. As the stragglers retreat to the comfort of the herd, it's kind of eerie to see all of their eyes looking in the same direction, out of the pen, trying to see what they're sensing. Well, it doesn't take long to see what they're worried about as a puma enters the camera and is now in the pen. I am curious as to why the cat paused there for a moment. Maybe he heard a person or something. Anyhow, the puma corners them and takes his pick. quicker than he enters, he's out of there. He leaps, goated mouth, such power. I'll stop the clip there, but we'll link it in the description if you'd like to see the rest of the clip. It's only a few seconds longer, but some viewers might not like it. This next video shows a not often talked about topic, however, an increasing one. There has been a recent increase in reports of UFO sightings by pilots. These sightings have occurred all over the world and have been reported by pilots of commercial and military aircraft. The pilots have described the UFOs as being a variety of shapes and sizes, and some have reported that the objects were able to move at high speeds and make sudden maneuvers that would be impossible for known aircraft. The FAA has encouraged pilots to report any unusual sightings to the agency, and many pilots have done so. They also state that they take these reports very seriously and investigate each one thoroughly. The military and other government agencies have also been monitoring these sightings. Let's watch a clip of the pilot explaining what he saw.
I don't know what the common denominator is, but it's always at the bottom of the Big Dipper.
Mark Holsey is a former F-18 fighter pilot. This August, he was piloting a private jet off the coast of Los Angeles when he says he saw as many as 7 mysterious objects appearing to fly thousands of feet above him. This is audio from that night alerting air traffic control.
Roger, yeah, I don't know. You're not entering any military airspace or anything, I'm not sure.
The increasing number of UFO sightings reported by pilots has led to a renewed interest in the phenomenon of UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial life.
I bet my life on it. There are many more pilots and a lot more videos that are going to come out. I know this is going to happen. I know it is.
What do you guys believe? Nevertheless, the continued reports by credible witnesses like pilots add more weight to the idea that there may be something strange happening in our skies, and it deserves further investigation. This next trail camera caught a deer dancing? Nah, I don't think so. At first glance, I thought the deer might have walked into a nest of fire ants. But on second thought, she could also be engaged in a behavior called stotting or pronking. Stotting is when a deer is startled or frightened. They jump into the air kicking their legs out before landing on all fours and running away. This behavior is seen in various species. They use this behavior as a means of communication and to signal their fitness and alertness to potential predators. It can also be used to assess the predator. Assess whether he or she is able to chase the pronking animal or not. Nevertheless, it's very interesting. Recently, a photograph of an unusual creature has been circulating on social media and causing quite a stir among wildlife experts and enthusiasts. This photograph, which was reportedly taken in the forests of Montana, appears to show a bear-elk hybrid, a creature that has never been seen or documented before. The animal in the photograph is clearly a bear, but it has a set of large antlers, similar to those of an elk growing from its head. The antlers appear to be fully grown and well-formed, which has led some experts to believe that the animal is not a genetic mutation or a hoax, but an actual hybrid of a bear and an elk. Now, the idea of a bear-elk hybrid seems highly unlikely. Bears and elk are from different families, and hybridization is rare in animals with distinct genetic makeup. And there is no scientific proof that such crossbreeding is possible in nature. So is this a hoax, or are we going to call it a belk? I'm going to play a little clip from this video that I found. I'm going to show a clip from a reported documentary. The film's maker claims that in 1942, German soldiers killed an animal similar to a wolfman. As you can see, the animal appears to be bipedal and has a strange physical build. Let me know what you guys think about this. This next clip is a viewer submission from Ronnie O, and it shows a picture that I've only seen in my nightmares. He explains that one of his trail cameras set up in the woods of Vermont captured a mysterious wolf-like creature wandering through the forest. The creature, which some are saying is just a gray wolf with mange, was captured on camera in the early hours of the morning, and has caused a great deal of speculation and excitement among local residents and wildlife experts. One of the first things that stands out about the creature in the photo is its size. Wolves are typically around 4 to 5 feet long and can weigh up to 150 pounds. But the animal in the photo appears to be significantly larger, more heavily built than a typical wolf. He also has thick, shaggy fur and a broad snout. Some experts have suggested that it could be a rare, undiscovered subspecies of wolf. Another intriguing aspect of the creature is its coloration. Gray wolves are typically a mix of gray, black, and white, but this animal appears to be entirely brown, which would make it quite unusual. This coloration could also be due to the camera flash, or the time of the day it was captured, as it was captured in the early hours and the darkness might have added to this brown coloration. The location of the sighting is also worth noting. Vermont is home to a small population of gray wolves, but they are not commonly found in this part of the state, which has led some to suggest that the animal in the photo may be a recently reintroduced or escaped captive. However, experts are currently not able to confirm if it is indeed a wolf. It's difficult to tell from just the one photograph, and they would need more evidence. Even though the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department, who have seen the photograph, are excited and has begun an investigation to figure out more about this mysterious creature, they have urged anyone who sees the animal or has any additional information to report it to the department immediately. Let me know what you guys think about this picture. I wish he had sent more in. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think about this photo.